Welcome to the channel. This is Shira. In the last video we talked about choice, not choosing thoughts, not choosing emotions, but choosing your state, your identity in the moment. And once you understand that, a really interesting question is, if I don't control my thoughts, then what's the point of affirmations? Do they actually have any value? Do they actually do anything? Or are they just pretty sentences floating in the air? So today I want to take you deeper because yes, affirmations do have value, a lot of value, just not in the way most people think. And once you understand how they interact with your state, your identity, and your inner world, everything about them starts to make sense. So let's dive in. Let's talk about what affirmations really are, why they sometimes feel powerful and sometimes feel pointless, and how to use them in a way that actually supports you naturally, gently, and without forcing anything. You're told to repeat affirmation every day, write them down, listen to them while you sleep, say them in the mirror, and yet, for so many people, nothing really changes, or worse, they feel more frustrated, more fake, more disconnected from themselves. And I want to explain why that happens and what's actually going on underneath the surface. Because the problem is not the affirmations themselves. The problem is the state you're in when you use them. And if you don't understand state, if you don't understand identity and where you're speaking from, then you can watch my previous video, or you can say the most beautiful words in the world and nothing will shift. Not because you're broken and not because you're not spiritual enough, not because you're doing it wrong, but because you're trying to use affirmations to fix something that doesn't need fixing, instead of remembering who you really are. So let's be honest, a lot of people feel fake when they say affirmations. They say, I am abundant, and immediately feel the opposite. They say, I am loved, and their body tightens. They say, I am confident, and their mind says, no, you're not. And then they think, I must be doing this wrong. I must have too much resistance. I must need to repeat it more. But the issue isn't the sentence. The issue is the state. If you're in a state of lack, and from that state you say, I am abundant, your nervous system doesn't believe you. Not because it's negative, not because it's sabotaging you, but because it's loyal to the identity you're currently identified with. And that identity is still, I am someone who doesn't have enough. So the affirmation clashes with the state of being. And the state always wins. Because as I was explaining in my previous video, you don't choose your thoughts. The state of being already contains the thoughts. Okay? So this is the part almost nobody explains. Your state is the cause. Affirmations are just noise if they don't match it. Your thoughts, your emotions, your affirmations, your actions, they are all effects. They are all expressions of the state of being you're in. So if you try to use affirmations to change your state while still identifying with the old identity, it feels like arguing with yourself. It feels like lying. Neville Goddard said, you are not the state of being you're in. You are the one who enters the state. That means you're not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You're not your affirmations. You are the awareness choosing the identity. And if you don't change the identity, if you don't shift the state, the affirmations are just words bouncing off the surface. Now, most people start using affirmations from a place of lack, from a place of something is wrong with me and I want to change it, from a place of I need to fix myself, meaning from the avatar, not from the awareness, not from the observer. You can even say that they are not even choosing the affirmation, but the affirmations are choosing them because their universe is filled with thoughts, and the thought of I need to say this specific affirmation it belongs to that specific universe, to that specific state of being, of lack. Meaning people are using affirmations from a place of I'm not enough as I am. And then they wonder why it doesn't feel good, why it feels like work, why it feels like pretending, why it doesn't stick. If the underlying state is I am broken and I need to fix myself, then even spiritual tools becomes weapons against yourself. You're not using affirmations as an expression of who you are. You're using them as a way to try to become someone else. And that energy is lack. That energy is resistance. That energy is I'm not there yet. And you want to feel like you're there. And that you can do by not trying to manifest with your avatar, but manifesting in a conscious way from the observer. Abraham Hicks always say, don't try to fix your vibration from a low vibration. Don't try to do the work when you're out of the vortex. And for a long time, that sounds confusing to me. And you think, but if I'm not feeling good, isn't that exactly when I should do the work? But what they're really saying is this: if you're in a state of lack and you use affirmations to try to escape that state, you're still focused on lack. You're still in the identity of I'm not there yet. The vortex is just a word for alignment, for connection, for your true self. When you're in a state, in that state, when you're in your natural alignment, then affirmations feel like a celebration, not a rescue mission. They feel like a reflection, not a correction. They feel like, yes, that's me, and not like, I hope one day that will be me. So what I want to say in this video is that affirmations don't create your state. I'm going to repeat that. Affirmations do not create your state of being. Your state gives meaning to your affirmations. Okay? So if you're in lack, they feel like lies. If you're in alignment, they feel like truth. So the meaning of affirmation is just to stabilize your current state of being. So the same sentence can feel completely different depending on who you're being when you say it. So the question is not which affirmations should I use. The real question is who is the one saying them? From which identity am I speaking? From lack or from my true self? I want to talk a little about the avatar and the observer and the differences between them. Think of yourself as having two levels of experience. They're the avatar, the personality, the story, the habits, the fears, the patterns, the human character you're playing in this life, the mask. And then there's the observer, the awareness behind it all, the one who sees the thoughts, the one who feels the emotions, the one who can notice the state, the one who notices, that's in short, instead of being lost inside it. Most people live only as the avatar. They think, this is who I am my thoughts, I am my emotions, I am my past, I am my trauma, I am my patterns. And from that place, they use affirmations as the avatar trying to fix itself. The avatar saying, I'm not enough. But if I repeat this sentence enough times, maybe one day I will be. And that's why it feels so heavy, because the one speaking is still the one who believes something is wrong in the now, in the present moment. And that's why the present moment will continue to shift again and again to the same thing. The real shift to what you want, of course, the real identity change happens when you stop being only the avatar and you remember yourself as the observer, the awareness, the one who can choose consciously a state instead of being dragged by it, the one who can say, oh, this is the state of lack, this is the state of fear, this is the state of unworthiness. But that's not who I am. That's just a state I've been in. Neville Goddard said, you are not the state you are in. I know I'm repeating this, but this is such a deep quote. So he said, you are not the state you're in. You are the one who enters the state. That's the observer. That's the real you. And from that place, you can choose. You can say, I'm not going to keep entering the state of lack. I'm not going to keep entering the state of I'm broken. I am choosing a different state now. So where do affirmations come in? Here's where affirmation finally makes sense. Affirmations are not tools to create the shift. Because when you choose to shift and to change, you do it instantly. And the affirmation are tools to stabilize the shift. That's all. It's that simple. They're not what makes you become the new identity. Affirmations are what help you to remain in the new identity long enough for it to feel natural. But you already chose, you already shifted. You must remember this. When you're in the observer, when you've already chosen a new state, affirmations feel completely different. You're no longer saying, I am abundant, from a place of, I'm not. You're saying it from a place of, yes, that's me. I know that. I'm just reminding my avatar. I'm reminding my nervous system. I am reminding my mind that I'm already that. You're not saying it from a place of, it will happen someday. No, you are already that. So let me show you the difference in energy. From the avatar in lack, affirmations sound like, I have to say this so I can finally feel better. I need this to work. I hope this fixes me. Maybe if I repeat it enough, I'll believe it. And from the observer, affirmations sound like, I already know who I am. I'm just choosing to feed my mind with what's true for me, with what's already true for me. I'm not fixing myself. I'm reinforcing my choice. I'm not begging reality to change. I'm stabilizing the state I've already stepped into. You see, same words, completely different state, completely different result. So now I want to ask you a question, and I want you to think about it. Is the shift in state created by affirmations or before them? So this is a subtle but powerful point. The real shift happens before the affirmations. Shift is the moment you stop identifying with the old state. The moment you say, I'm not that anymore. The moment you decide, I'm the version of me who is whole, who is loved, who is powerful, who is enough. That decision, that identity choice is the shift. Once that's chosen, affirmations become like anchors. They keep you in the new state. They keep you from slipping back into the old identity out of habit. They're not the engine, they're just a support. Guys, if you're still here, I really appreciate it. Please comment below, like, subscribe, and help me grow this channel. Thank you. So let's continue. So this is why Abraham Hicks always says, do your practices when you're in the vortex. I said this before, I want to stress this, because when you're in alignment, when you're in your true state, affirmations are like pouring water on a flower. They're nourishing what's already alive. But when you're out of alignment and you use affirmations to try to fix yourself, it's like watering a plastic plant. You see, there's no life in the identity you're trying to maintain. So before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something practical, how to actually live this in your day-to-day life. Because understanding the observer and the avatar is powerful, but the real transformation happens in the small moments. The first thing is simply noticing your state, not judging it, not fighting it, not trying to fix it, just recognizing, oh, this is the state I'm in right now. The moment you can see it, you're already a little bit outside of it. You're already in the observer. From there, remember that you're not the state. You're the one who can enter any state. And that means you can choose again, quietly, internally, without forcing anything, just a soft decision. I'm not that version of me anymore. I am this now. And then let your thoughts and emotions catch up on their own. Don't chase them, don't try to control them. They will shift naturally because the identity shifted. That's how it works. This is where affirmations finally become helpful, not as something you use to fix yourself, but as something that supports the identity you've chosen. They become reminders, not repairs, gently anchors that help you stay in that state you've stepped into. Remember, you don't want to go somewhere else, escape your reality. You want to enjoy, be in a state that you enjoy your present moment. Choose that state. Okay, so the whole practice becomes simple. Notice the state, step into the observer, choose who you are now, let everything else follows. That's it. That's the whole mechanics of inner change. So thank you again for being here. I really appreciate all of you. I really hope this video opened up something for you. If it did, then feel free to share it with someone who will like it. Subscribe, comment below. It's just one small click for you, and it means the world to me. So thank you again. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.